and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the people of the tube. Today, I hope you're all feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hi there, everybody. Today's vid, everybody, we're going to do a vintage V6 shootout. Bang, bang. Oh no, you got me. That was weird. Ignore that. That never happened. I am erasing that from your mind using my psychic abilities. Do you remember what you just saw? No, I didn't think you did. Anyway. Yes, today we're going to do a bit of a shootout between these two vintage V6s. This is my kind of like most recent V6. This was given to me by that's my new language. I hope you understood it. Anyway, this was recently given to me, well, kind of recently given to me by my good friend Bob back in England. So, and it was originally all stock. It was originally black. It had all the V6 things. All the electrics are original. I will do a video on this in depth to tell you exactly what I've done with it at some point, just not yet. So at this point in time, it is a V6 in its guts, and basically all of it, I've just refinned it white, or cream, if you will. And this beast here is was my V6 as well. This was my main guitar for like, what? 7 years? Well, I got this in 2013, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, 17 it went. So this was my main guitar for 4 years, this one here. And I gifted this to my friend Marjo last year? Maybe last? No, year before, 2018. I gifted it to her because she loved it. So, and as much as I love this guitar, I wasn't playing it as much as I should have been doing. So it came with her back to here, and it's lived here ever since. And it's strangely emotional playing this guitar again, people of the tube. I've got to say, because as soon as I got this guitar, this became my number one, and we've done a lot of gigs together, me and this guitar. And we've been through a lot together. And this guitar, I put this guitar through hell. I really did put this guitar through hell. It got battered and beaten. It's been refinished twice. It was originally black. You can still see some of the black there. It was originally black, like the V6 icons come. But I refinned it white. And then that white finish went weird. It kind of started to flake off. And there's some pictures on my Facebook and Instagram of that. And then I basically sanded it all down, apart from the contours, which I wasn't able to do, which have still black in them, and refinned it again in this kind of cream. Well, initially it was white, and then it went cream, and then I relicked it, and then basically, well, it wasn't relicked originally, and then I relicked it, and then it got beaten up even more. So it's got a lot of stories. This guitar, it's got a lot of dints and dents. Some that I made on purpose, and some that happened gig-wise. When I would be a bit silly with it. A bit of a scratch plate broke off there. I don't know where that happened and what happened to it, but it's gone. But anyway, this is the shootout today, and the really cool thing is this. Remember correctly, this one, yeah, this vintage here, the newer one I've got, even though it's technically older. This one's from 2008. This one's 2010. Yeah, so this one's a 2010. That's a 2008, and so there's not much, in them year-wise. So I think this would be quite interesting to see. Like I say, I have modified them both in a way. This has a replacement volume control, as the original died. This doesn't. The electrics on this one are all totally unmodified. The only thing really I modified on this one are just aesthetic kind of things. On this one, I modified the aesthetics and that tone control as it broke. Other than that, it is basically how I used it, and like I say, it's very kind of it was very emotional seeing this guitar for the first time again, and then playing it today was the first time I've really played it through the setup I used to use it through, if that makes any sense. So it was a bit, it was very very touching, very kind of heartwarming in a way, because I was playing it, I was like, I remember that sound, I remember that feel. It feels like an old friend. It's so comfortable, this guitar is. I mean, I love it. Like I say, for 4 years, that was my main gigging guitar, and we've done a lot, we've seen a lot, and we've been through a lot. So, I really love it. And, yeah, I don't regret giving it to my friend Marjo at all. I really don't. Like I say, I wasn't using it. She used it a lot more than I did when I gave it to her. So that's cool. It actually, it went on to live You know what I mean? Instead of just being in a case back at home in England. So anyway, today we're going to do a bit of a shootout. And I thought what I'd do is, like, you know, tonally wise. And also I'm going to talk about feel as well. How different do they feel being, like, you know, only 2 years apart. So it'd be interesting. Hopefully it'd be interesting. Fingers crossed. So what I'm going to do today is a bit different as well. I'm not going to do close mic sound examples. I'm going to have the close mic, the 57 on. But I'm going to kind of do it in real time as a bit of a change. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the room mic on to let you hear it in the room as well. And I'm going to talk as we go. So we're going to go through the Marshall MG, no pedals. We're just going to go totally clean. And I'm just going to talk as we kind of go and just kind of like, you know, tell you what I feel the difference is. And as usual, people for Tube, I want to know what you think. What did you hear? You know, what felt different between the two tonally? You know what I mean? Like, because unfortunately, that's all. Unfortunately, I wish you could be here to like, you know, weigh in on how they feel different and stuff like that, because they do feel different, I think. But I'll get to that more when we do the comparison thing. So yeah. Anyway, people for Tube, let's get to it, shall we? So I don't know which one we'll start with at this point in time. We'll get to that in a sec. So I'm gonna get sat near the amplifier and get the amp at a level where we're not gonna kill anybody, and set it to stun. And yeah, we'll go from there. And yeah, hopefully this will be interesting. I'd be very curious. Oh yeah, and also another thing to note, people of the Tube, pickups are the same in each of these guitars. They're both Wilkinson. Well, I don't know what they're called, but they're both Wilkinson single coil pickups basically. And you know, it'd be interesting to see if there is any difference. I mean, they do feel different. The necks feel different. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a moo. So back in the moo. Okay, people of the Tube, we are set up and ready to go. I do apologise if I peak the mic at any point. I've turned the amp down as low as I kind of want to, if that makes any sense, so I can still hear it kind of thing. And I don't really want to turn it down any lower. That's very dusty. But yeah, we're going to start with my, well, this wasn't my first V6. I don't know where my first V6 is anymore. I sold that a while back. It wasn't as good as this one by any stretch. That's the reason I sold it. Is because it was great guitar, but it wasn't this guitar. And like I said, I just didn't. When the first Oswald came along, like my first Oswald and this just became my main guitars, and that guitar kind of got banished to a case, and that was no life for a guitar. So I sold it to somebody, and I think then they sold it to somebody else, and then they sold it to somebody else. So good gravy knows where that guitar is. Anyway. Without further ado, we're going to start with my initial, well, but this was my favourite V6, and it's going to be interesting to see, actually, if, like I said, I got this guitar in 2013, be interesting to see the difference here. So sound-wise, this guitar has always sounded incredible, and that is no different now. It just the dynamics and the tonality of these pickups are just perfect. The sound of this guitar. It's just gorgeous. It really. I always remember the neck pickup on this guitar being like extra special, and it really is now. It's still dead extra special. It's so awesome. It just sounds amazing, and the bridge pickup always had loads of bite. But it was like a little bit darker than like a usual Strat pickup, and hopefully you can hear that. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's got a bit more of a mid-range kind of thing to it, which I really liked. Because it was a little bit darker to my white Strat or or any of my other guitars. It you know, on the bridge pickup, it just had a bit more of a fatter, kind of a mid-range to it. You know, it's not as glassy as like a usual kind of Strat bridge pickup. It's not as kind of like, ah! You know, it's a little bit warmer. And I say you got the neck. I mean, the middle pickup was... I never really used the middle pickup. But he does that perfect middle pickup Strat thing. When I go to a middle pickup, I always end up playing like Jimi Hendrix blues licks, because to me that's the Jimi Hendrix blues tone, is the middle pickup. You know, I don't know why, it just ends up, it's a very bluesy sound, that is. I never use position 2 and 4, so I do apologise, I don't like that sound at all. That quacky kind of out of fade. I don't like that one, and position 4 just reminds me of... I'm not going to do any more of that, because that'll probably get copyright flagged. But, you know, it's got that... like John Mayer thing, and I kind of want to get away from that. I don't want to be... And no offense, I've never liked 2 and 4. The positions, they've never appealed to me. I'm either always neck or bridge, and like if I want to play kind of like really bluesy stuff, I always kind of tend to like gravitate towards the middle. But invariably I'm neck or bridge guitarist, like a lot of Strat guys. But that neck pickup is to die for. Oh, my gravy. Oh, it's so nice. And I love it. I always remember this, like, there was so much, like, with the spacing. And it's still there. This guitar's magic. This guitar is magic. So, yeah, so this guitar sounds amazing. People of YouTube, let me know, like I say, in the comment section below what you think to the sound of this. Because to me it sounds like a... It just sounds like a Strat should. You know what I mean? Especially on the neck pickup. The bridge pickup's got that. The neck pickup's got that kind of clarity of like, you know, a normal Strat, but it's kind of a little bit fatter, and I like that. So, that sound does sound amazing. Let me know what you think to the sound. So, feel-wise, the neck on this thing, like I say, because I played this like for 4 years straight, it's a very skinny neck. I can get my thumb really far over on this neck. But the neck on this one, I'm just so comfortable with it, though, because it's just like, because I played it for so many years and I did so many gigs with it, it was just like my main mate. And it's just so comfy. The neck on this guitar is amazing. I never had any sharp fret edge problems. In all fairness, I've never had any fret problems with this guitar. It's still the original frets. I never got it refretted, and there's still hours and millions of years left. Well, not maybe millions of years, but there's a lot of time left on these frets yet. But it's amazing. The tremolo on this feels amazing. This guitar just feels, yes, you know what I mean. The neck feels great. It's a really nice, like, comfy, classic kind of feeling skinny neck. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing like a Fender 50s neck or Fender neck in general. It's got a very kind of, it's almost like a CD shape, almost. It's not quite a C, but it's not quite a D. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle. But it's really kind of like, it's quite narrow, E to E, and that's really comfy. And like I said, I can get my thumb really far over on this. And I always enjoyed that because I could do quite a lot of, I could do a lot on this guitar. It gave me a lot of freedom to do a lot of stuff because it was just really comfy. On this neck was amazing. So yeah, amazing neck on this thing. So while I've been doing that, let's switch to the newer one. Well, older one, and see if it feels any different. Oh yeah, immediately. Okay, so before we get into sound, the neck on this one is immediately wider. E to E, a lot wider. I mean that. I'm not going to go by measurements. I'm not going to get like the tape measure out and start doing that kind of thing. I just don't think that's. I don't think there's any point in that one. I'm not going to be that scientific. But this neck is a lot wider. I can feel it immediately, especially in that part of my thumb. Like the original Mr. V there, kind of like its red edge of the neck kind of rests there. This one is a bit more kind of towards that joint on my thumb. I can't get my thumb over as far on this neck as I can that one. But yeah, this is definitely a C. This is definitely a C neck though. This has not got that kind of flatter back to it. This is just. So there's definitely a C neck. This one, very comfortable. I would say this one is better. The neck on that guitar is better than this one. This neck's good and it's comfy, but that neck is better. And again, I could be biased because obviously I played that one for so many years, whereas this one I've only played this one for like a couple of months. But that neck is nicer by far. The neck on this one reminds me of my original V6, the first one I got. Definitely reminds me of that one. It's a lot more kind of like wider, fatter, and also kind of like. No, it's not. I was gonna say feels different, but it doesn't really feel different. Anyway, let's get into sound. So. Interesting, people of the tube. Interesting. This is darker. This guitar is a lot darker. Definitely darker. That bridge pickup though. Interesting. I would say the bridge pickups are nearly identical. Yeah, I mean, they're super close. They've got that kind of, like I say, they've got that kind of like darker, more mid-rangey thing than like normal Strat pickups, where it's just a little bit more fatter. You know what I mean? There's just a little bit more fatness. The neck pickups sound totally different. The neck pickup in this one is better, actually. The neck pickup in that V6 there is a bit darker. Doesn't have quite the clarity of this one. The neck pickup in this one, I always thought it was special, and it is. The neck pickup in this one is actually, it's good, but it ain't that. And that's a problem now. It's a little bit woolly. Especially on the low register. You know, there's a lot of kind of like low end. Definitely more, substantially more low end on this guitar than there is this one. Oh, by the way, people with tube as well. Pickups are set at the same heights for each guitar, and they both got gauge 9s on. I believe. Or are they 10s? They could be 10s actually. I do apologise, but that's interesting because this definitely has 9s on it because I restrung it this morning with 9s. So these are the 9 to 42. If this is 10 to 46, that still sounds brighter than this one with 9s. Because this guitar with 10s didn't work. It sounded too dark. So I thought 9s, maybe 8s might be even better on this. Because that low end is quite dominating, actually. I haven't noticed it until just now, like with the comparison between the two. Especially on those kind of like Hendrixy kind of double stops like that, you can really notice there's an increase, and you can feel it as well when you're near, especially when you're this close to an amp. When you're doing those Hendrixy double stops, there's an increase in low end on this, and it's almost not too much. It's not too much. It's fine, but it almost gets in the way. You know what I mean? Like. Still got the it's still got all the clarity, but it's just that there's an increased, I say there is definitely an increased low end here that isn't there on that one, and I say that does kind of make that neck pickup bit better because it's just got a bit more evenness. This neck pickup isn't very even. The bridge pickup is. You know, that's a really great sounding bridge pickup, but the neck pickup on this guitar is a bit. It's just got a bit more overtone on the bass, kind of like it's a bit more dominating. It doesn't seem to be as alive either. It's like a bit duller, deader kind of feel, especially and feel tonality as well. That just sounds better to me. I always loved the neck pickup of this guitar, and it just always kind of really sat nicely with my ears, and that's just reaffirmed my love for this pickup, and now my sorrow. Oh dear, I've lost it. Anyway, but yeah. I say when you're doing those kind of Hendrixy double stops with this guitar, they're very even. They kind of have the right tonality as you come down them. Whereas I say with the other V here, it just seems to have a bit more. It's louder. This guitar is louder, but it doesn't have. When you get to those low strings, the E, A, and D, it kind of loses a little bit of clarity. It's not as clear. It still sounds great, you know what I mean? But it doesn't sound as classic, I don't think, as this one does. Let me know, people of Tube, what are you hearing? And let me know in the comment section below. I'm very curious because that's where I'm at with this. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't. It doesn't quite sound just as good. I mean, the neck pickup. I mean, like, you know, this neck pickup isn't as good as that neck pickup. You know. It's not horrific, but it's not the same, and it's not as nice, I don't think. It's just a little bit more dead. Yeah, there isn't as much character to this guitar as there is that one. And that could be, I don't know, the fact that maybe this one hasn't been played enough. I don't know. But they definitely feel different. They're definitely two different animals here. I love them both, definitely, and I love this one. I love this one even more now. I've kind of like I've finished my modifications to it. Well, aesthetic modifications. I say the electrics, I don't need to change them because they're perfect. But aesthetically, I always wanted the V6 icon to be more 50s spec. And I say I'll do a video on this and I'll talk about what I've done to it at some point. But because it always got that kind of aesthetic look of a 50s kind of style Strat. And I wanted it to look a bit more like that. And I always wanted a white one with a maple neck. And Vintage don't do a white one with a maple neck. So I made one, basically. It's definitely a more woolly sound, this guitar, than my original one. My second ever one there. It's definitely got more of a kind of like it's darker tonality. Definitely a darker tonality to it. I hope that comes across, people of YouTube, on the camera. But yeah, bridge pickups sound the same. Let's just do middle pickup quick, just for the sake of it. Key of A minor, the Key of Kings. It's a nice sound. Interesting. Now I would say the bridge pickup on this guitar is a thinner, brighter sound than that one. I would say my V6, well, this V6 here. Is dark. I'll say this one's darker. It's not darker, actually, no. There's a more mid-range to it. There's more, I would say there's a bit more of a low mid to this guitar, middle pickup, than there is the other one. So, weird. So, middle pickup, I prefer this one. I prefer this middle pickup to this middle pickup. But I prefer this neck pickup to that neck pickup. And bridge pickups, I don't really care because they both sound the same. But, interesting. Very interesting. That still sounds gorgeous, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think this one's got a bit of a brighter kind of sparkle to it in the middle. So, yeah, people of YouTube, let me know in the comments section below. I'm very, very curious to know. I always love reading the comments on these kind of videos and seeing what people hear. Because I'm very curious, and hopefully the sound will come across okay. Like I said, I've kept the 57 on the cab, and it's not, you know, it won't be doing a great deal, but it'll be adding a little bit of sound. But yeah, people, let me know in the comments below, and which one out of these two do you prefer? Because at this point in time, like, I'm kind of torn between the two. There's like, it's like I want to create like some kind of weird hybrid of the two, where I have this neck and that pickup in, you know, with yeah, this neck, that pickup in that guitar with that aesthetic, and I want that middle pickup, I want that bridge pickup, but I want it to look like that, like more 50s spec, like that. But yeah, bizarro. Oh, that was good. That neck pickup on it, the neck pickup on this guitar is super special. It really is. The neck pickup in this one isn't as much. It's a bit more generic, the neck pickup in that one. But yeah, I don't know. People with tube, let me know in the comment section below. Which one would you have and why? You know, which one do you prefer the sound of? Is it the my original V6, the Relic, you know, the beaten up Relic one, or is it the the new / older V6, the Bob V6? So you know, which one? You know, the old, you know, my original one or the newer one. Which one do you prefer and why? And which one would you have? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, like, you know, which one do you prefer the sound of? And are you hearing it the same way I'm hearing it? Like, say, neck pickup on this one's got more kind of evenness. This neck pickup is a bit dark and woolly. Middle pickup on this one's kind of a bit too kind of mid-rangey, low mid. This one's kind of perfect, and the bridge pickups kind of sound identical. Yeah, I mean, they've both got the same kind of stagger on the pickups. It's the vintage stagger pickups, and, you know, with the B magnet being low, and they kind of like step up from the D and G are the same. So, and they're exactly the same heights. I got a bit silly with that earlier on. So the pickups are the exact same heights, and like I say, the actions are pretty much identical as well. I mean, they, you know, the skinniness of the neck is exactly the same. On it, the neck's kind of like their thickness, kind of like front to back, feeling identical, but the width of the fretboard, E to E, this one's definitely skinnier than this one. This one's a lot wider, and as a result, it doesn't feel as nice to me as this one. And again, that could be because I'm more used to this one. This one also doesn't have as rolled edges as this one, because I played it so much, the edges on this fretboard rolled. This one hasn't really got that at this point in time. And also, the back of its neck is like super quick, because I played it so much. The back of this neck is more still satiny finish, and it's not sticky, but it's not as smooth as this one. I don't know. People with tube, let me know in the comment section below which one, you know, would you prefer. Like I say, at this point in time, I want a weird hybrid of this guitar neck and that pickup in this guitar looking like this, because as much as I love the look of this guitar, because he's my mate, this is kind of the look I always wanted for this one. And I don't know why I never really went as far down the rabbit hole with this one as I did this, which is a bit weird. I don't really know why. Anyway, I'll do a video on what I did with this one, explaining exactly why, and, you know, why I did it, and what I did another time, people of tube. But like I say, at this point in time, let me know which one do you prefer and why. You know, and also let me, you know, tonality wise, what did you hear? Yeah, it'd be very interesting. Very interesting to read your comments. So, also, I'd say the headstock on this one's bigger than this one. I don't think that's got anything to do with anything, but it just looks bigger. The neck, it's definitely thicker as well. The headstock's thicker on this one than it is this one. Now, be that what it may, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know, people with tube. Let me know in the comment section below which one you preferred, why, which one would you have out of these two. And yeah, interesting. That was really cool, actually. I really enjoyed that. It was definitely like it was a lot more interesting, kind of like I thought they were just going to be kind of like pretty much identical, and that was going to be that, and it was going to be a bit boring. Hopefully this wasn't boring. I really enjoyed it, but like I say, hopefully you did as well, people with tube. I hope there was something in this. But that was interesting. That was really cool, because they are different. You know what I mean? Like, and it's weird to hear like certain little different things in each guitar. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up waffling, because I am just waffling now. So yeah, like I say, just for a totally clean sound, like, you know, I say, we're just going through the MG overdrive channel with the gain set, well, super clean basically, no pedals. So the reverb, by the way, though, was coming from the Zoom G2.1U. Other than that, there's no pedals. So, like I say, people too, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vid. It's lovely being near this guitar again. I really love it. I love being near this guitar again. I love being able to play this guitar again. It was very kind of, I felt very emotional actually seeing it for the first time. It was a bit weird. I didn't expect to be so. No, I wasn't overwhelmed by emotion, kind of thing, so to say. But it was a bit of a moment. It took a bit of a moment for me to you know, took a second. You know what I mean? With this guitar, it did take a second, and that was cool. And like I say, it's been a good friend to me, this one. Now it's a really good friend to my friend. It's a really good friend to my friend Marjo. That's hard to say, and say she loves it. So you know, and my friend Nicole loves it, and I love it, and everyone who picked this thing up loves this guitar, and you know, I can't blame them for 1 second because it really is special. This one's really, really special. Like I say, there are aspects about it that I wish I changed, but it doesn't matter now because it's not mine. But yeah, so I know he looks cool. I love the look of this guitar. It just looks absolutely beaten, but in a really cool. I just love the way it looks. It really does look cool. So anyway, people for Tube, I really love the way this one looks as well. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what to say. No, there's nothing else to say. So, I'll say, people of YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this vid. I will see you again for another one very soon. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And, yes, goodbye now. Thank you very much for watching. And, I'm going to play this one for a bit longer. So, see you later. Goodbye now. Thank you.